Welcome to Biz Jet TV. My name is Fabrizio Poli. I'm your aviation advisor, and today we're going to be talking about Bill Gates investing in private aviation. This is an interesting episode. At the beginning of the episode, I talk about what's happening in the market right now. All these airline pilots that are being laid off, can they actually get a job in private aviation or not? What my recommendation is to these people. And then we'll be talking about Bill Gates and his investment in private aviation as an indicator of what's coming. So, from interesting content for you. Before we get into it, I'd encourage you to follow me on Medium. I am publishing a number of articles a week now on Medium. You can click on the link below to read my articles and also comment there. And also, if you want to contact me on LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn, and the link below to my LinkedIn profile is there too. And also check Kaizen Aerospace, my new venture, and have a look at what we're doing at Kaizen Aerospace. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed to Biz Jet TV, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, all about private aviation and lots of other stuff as well related to flying, from drones to also space. So lots of content, interviews with different experts, and upcoming new things and new pieces of technology that are coming into this space. So subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up and comment below. We love to hear your comments, what you think of this video and any suggestions you may have for the future. But let's get straight into today's episode, Bill Gates investing in private aviation. Off we go. Before we get into Bill Gates, let's just have a bit of a snapshot here. What's happening in the aviation market right now? We're seeing, the airlines hit big time by this whole lockdown. Private jet industry not hit as much. Lots of pilots have been laid off because either the airline is shut or they're reducing their fleet. And I've been getting calls from a lot of pilots asking me if I could, either employ them myself or introduce them to somebody and get them a job on a private jet. Now, first of all, if you're a pilot and you're watching this, and you're an airline pilot and you're out of job, I'm sorry that this has happened, but we have to look at reality. Now, the private jet market is going to grow, but it's not going to grow to the extent where they can absorb all these airline pilots. That's number one. Number two, most airline pilots would not fit in to a private jet outfit. And having been both a private jet pilot and an airline pilot, I know the difference in both worlds. The airline pilot does bring a certain set of skills to the table. Interacting with passengers and that is really, really important on a private jet. I mean, you upset one passenger, and let's say you work for a charter company, you upset one passenger, that could be $1 million of business with your company. So, private jet charter companies, private jet owners, they look at the technical qualifications and everything, but they look at the person more, and it really is a relationship business. While airline is it's like you're driving a truck. It's a bit comparing like a truck driver to a private chauffeur, and I've done this comparison before. So my recommendation is, if you are an airline pilot, you I don't know, 30s or 40s or 50s, whatever it is, and you've been laid off, my recommendation, if you've got some money set aside, is to use that money to either set up a business or to retrain to do something different. Because you're not going to get an airline job for at least 3 or 4 years. That's the reality. Unless you're super connected and you can get into another airline, then great, you can continue flying. Otherwise, my recommendation is, go and do something different. But anyway, let's look at what Bill Gates is doing, because this is an interesting indicator. Now, I did say in a few videos ago that NetJets have decided to increase their fleet by 30%. We also saw FlexJet are putting more orders in for aircraft. So these two big players in private jet world are increasing their fleets, which is a good sign. But Bill Gates has done an interesting thing. He's just increased his shares in BBA Aviation, or also known as Signature Aviation. Now, Signature Aviation is a company that operates a number of private jet terminals, or FBOs as they're called, around the world. Now, we saw Bill Gates invest in this company in 2009, just after the recession, the big recession, where the private jet industry got hit big time. And so the shares of Signature Aviation, or BBA Aviation as it's called, were really, really low. So he invested then. Now, the reason why he's invested now more money is, yes, the shares have come down, but only a tiny fraction compared to what they did back in 2009. Because, yes, private aviation was hit, but it wasn't hit as badly as the airlines. Because bear in mind, the business model of private aviation is different to the airlines. I mean, private aviation, someone buys an aeroplane and they keep it in the hangar, available 24/7. So it doesn't actually make the money when it flies. it makes them money because it's available 24/7. And this is really important to understand, because so many people try and bring the airline model into the private jet model. And when I laugh when I hear people say, we're going to bring low-cost business jet travel to the world. People have tried and it hasn't worked. And those that are still out there trying to promote this, the only reason why they're still afloat is because they keep raising money. So, because the business model is different. And so it's important to understand that. And this is why the private jet industry hasn't been hit big like the airlines. Now, the other interesting thing is Bill Gates believes that private aviation is going to grow. I mean, he owns a couple of Gulfstream G650 ERs, which he flies around him and his family with. And then he has some shares in a couple of Challenger 350s with NetJets, which belongs to his buddy Warren Buffett. And, you know, they are good friends. They talk. Warren Buffett has increased, you know, his stake in private aviation by increasing NetJet's fleet by 30% as an investment. And so obviously Bill knows that, you know, this industry is going to grow. So he decided to invest more money in Signature Aviation. So this is a clear indicator that private aviation is going to grow. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, so if private aviation is going to grow, my competitors may start using private aviation. And if you use private jets, you're going to see that your company is going to grow. I mean, the statistics are out there. The research has been done. Those companies that use private jets grow faster than those that don't. The story of Walmart, I've told that many times. You can click on the video above and look at the comparison there between Walmart and Tesco's. That's an interesting one to look at. And you can see the difference in philosophy in the two companies as far as private jets are concerned, and the winner out of the two. So the question you need to ask yourself now is, you know, if your competitor is going to start either, you know, chartering a jet, that's the first way to do it, is charter when you need one, or you can lease one, and you can lease for a year and a half. And that's another option. And the third option is private jet ownership. Now, I can help you with any of those, and you know, and evaluating which is the best solution for you is really important. And as I always say here on Biz Jet TV, I can only give you general information here on YouTube. If you want specific information, we need to do a one-to-one call. And if you don't want to do a one-to-one call with me, that's no problem. But my advice is to find a professional, an aviation advisor that can sit down with you, understand what your goals are with private aviation, what your needs are business-wise for travel and that, and really be able to steer you in the right direction. Because it's so important to get that advice before you move into flying private. Now, private flying is not cheap. This is why it's only the wealthy that do this. Or those that can, or those businesses that are growing, but it very much is a business tool, and this is the way you got to look at it. Don't think that, you know, these people went and bought a private jet just because they can. A lot of people that use private jets use it for their business, and they use it to grow their business. They use it as a business tool. It sits there available 24/7. You can use it. Your executives can use it. You can use the plane to go out and pick people up and bring them to you. There's lots and lots of reasons why you would have a private jet. And I would add, you know, with this whole COVID-19 virus and whatever, more and more people are now aware of how viruses get transmitted and that. And the airplane is one of those environments, unfortunately, where, you know, to spread a virus is very, very easy. So the last thing you want to do, if you can, is to be sitting on an airplane with another, you know, 200 people, you know, 200 strangers basically. While on a private jet, it's a very small amount of people. They're all people that you know. It's your jet, or you chartered the jet. Don't go for any of these jet sharing schemes that are out there. That's another thing which is trying to bring the low-cost model to private aviation. It's not going to work. The private jet needs to stay private. You need to know who you're flying with, and you know, that is so important, in particular now that, you know, we're all more aware about viruses and how they spread, and that really is important. So Bill Gates is investing in private aviation. That is a clear indicator, again, that this market is going to grow, as I've been saying for the last few weeks. So we are looking at interesting developments over the next few years in private aviation. And so the question is, are you going to be using private aviation as a business tool to help to grow your business at a quantum level? And that's really all from me on this episode. If you haven't subscribed to Biz Jet TV, I encourage you to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and click on the other videos we have here. Lots of content, all here to educate you, so you can figure out here and understand that the private jet is a business tool and is not a luxury item. That's all from Fabrizio Poli on Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.